And if we think about actually being on a course and then starting teaching, there's probably quite a lot to consider. What advice would you give to someone who's just preparing to teach?
Yeah, well, if they really haven't taught anything before, it's going to be a nerve-wracking process. And being nervous is natural, it's okay, and it's okay to make mistakes. So the first thing to say is, you're going to make mistakes, but go at it in a spirit of adventure and in a spirit of discovery, because making mistakes is very much part of the learning process. I remember when I started to learn to teach, I really wasn't sure about what I should do, and I listened carefully to the advice of my tutors. So on a course like the CertTESOL, you're going to get lots of support from the tutors. You'll get support from peers, and typically in a group of trainees there will be some who have taught a little bit before, some who haven't taught, and even some who have quite a lot of experience but want the qualification. And as a result, that environment, that community will be very supportive when it comes to learning to teach. And so very obvious things which, advice which everyone will understand is prepare thoroughly. So that make sure you know what you're teaching, you know how you're teaching, and if you're particularly nervous, it's okay even to write down some of the things you'll say. Because when you're teaching a foreign English as a foreign language, you have to keep your English slow and simple and clear and easy to understand. And writing down what you're going to say can be a simple way of helping you to do that. And I know many trainee teachers, when they start, they even have that information on a clipboard to help them in the lesson when they're actually teaching. So
indeed, that's what I did. I remember my tutors told me when my language, when I did my initial teacher training course at CertTESOL, when my language was going too quickly or was inappropriate, they said just write it down, and I wrote it down, and I kept those little cards with me and I read from them, and that really helped train me in that.
Absolutely. And it's in fact, as teacher trainers, we often call this scripting. So scripting your instructions. You can't really script the way that you respond to learners, because that's something we can't predict. So things like feedback after an activity can be much more difficult to script. But also you can script bits about how you explain language as well. And that's a useful thing to do in early lessons when you're so nervous often that you almost feel that you lose your ability to use language as you normally can do outside of the classroom. And if English isn't your first language, then scripting can also give you a little bit of confidence, so that those areas where you wouldn't normally make a mistake, but the nervousness of the situation will cause you to use English in slightly atypical ways, the scripting can help with that as well.
All right, brilliant, thank you.